Good evening, guys, and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I think I mentioned to you guys in yesterday's vlog that I would most likely not, possibly, it depended, have a Tony's and Caputo's haul, just because of my dad now most likely going there just like on his way home from work or whatever to pick up the stuff. So he actually didn't have the grocery money with him, which is why he didn't go today, which is why I don't have a haul for you guys today. And I was telling you guys how it's weird, like he probably have more time during Monday through Thursday because Jack has weightlifting, and not on Friday because Jack gets picked up at the regular time at like 3 o'clock. So my dad has like a shorter time crunch to pick Jack up from school than he normally would, like if he has weightlifting, which he doesn't get picked up until normally around 4 or 4:30. So anyways, though, he tomorrow though he'll probably be able to go because Jack has got he is off of school, because on Monday I heard Jack say something about him being off school, and I was like, oh, you're off school on Monday? And he's like, no, I'm off school on Friday. And so actually Sunday night I was thinking, oh, Jack can stay up because he doesn't have school tomorrow. And then he's like, I have to go to bed. And I was like, why? And he's like, because I have school. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, I have off on Friday. I don't know why though. Today I was like, oh, Jack still has school tomorrow. Like, it never registered. Like I said, I had no clue. All of a sudden Jack was just like, well, no, I have school. I don't have school tomorrow. And I was like, really? But he still went to bed early because he was like, I'm tired, I'm just gonna go to bed. So even though he doesn't have school tomorrow, he still ended up going to bed early. But my dad should be able to go to the grocery stores tomorrow, like I said, after you know, he gets off of work. So he's gonna probably, like I said, go to those two stores. So I should possibly have that for you guys. It depends on when I'll have that haul to share with you guys from now on, just because of, like I said, it depends on when my dad feels like and can make it after work to go and pick up those things. So either way, I don't have one for you guys today. I don't have a haul from those two stores. Guys, honestly, I am very upset about that, you know, being sick last week, because it's not only was it just sort of unfortunate, I was still, funny enough, I was still kind of waking up early. Even the day I felt the worst on Tuesday or whatever it was of last week, I woke up at like 8 o'clock and I was like, oh my gosh, this stinks, because I'd rather just be sick and like still sleep. But then I couldn't fall back asleep just because of how bad I felt. And so, but my alarms woke me up at like 8 o'clock. Then on Wednesday it was kind of the same thing, and then even like Thursday, and I think maybe it wasn't on Friday though, but Thursday too, I think I got up early. Friday I might have not, and then over the weekend I didn't end up, like, I was waking up still early because we had to leave early on Saturday, and then on Sunday I woke up because we had to go to the grocery store. So I was up early those 2 days, but I was going to bed really late those, like, the nights like leading into those days. So I didn't end up, like I said, getting very good sleep over the weekend, and it screwed up kind of this whole week then afterwards. But like, even too, I went to bed early. I know, like I said, even the days I wasn't feeling good, and again, my body just needed the rest. So I was still sleeping in a little bit, but it just completely threw me off now. And I was like, I was so good. I was getting up at like 8 o'clock, like latest like 9 o'clock. Now I'm waking up at like 10:30. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, you know, because again, I was like last week, even when I'm not feeling good, I woke up at 8 o'clock. It was like, and I think it was might even like some of those days was even before that, because there was a couple days where I was waking up before my alarm goes off, and it goes off at 7:50. So I know I was up at like 7:45ish on my own a couple of those days, and then like I said, I couldn't, you know, like I can't for life of me even wake up from my alarm clocks now. So it really so far has screwed me up, and I'm very upset about that. But I was still productive. I still got things done. I did dishes today. I also ended up editing today as well. And one thing that I did, guys, that I am very happy about, because I have not done this so far since the start of the year, which I wanted to, and on top of that, I haven't like since probably the summer was I actually, for next week, even though I know today's only Thursday, I set out my planner. I wrote down all of my little things on my planner that I need to do, which is normally, and I can update this now through the week, you know, as things end up happening, but normally I just write down like the basic things that I try to get to kind of like every day, just doing dishes, doing laundry, like cleaning the bathroom when I do that on Tuesdays, the kitchen and the living room, then on Wednesday and Thursday, and then also to like editing and uploading every day. Those are the things, and also doing my German lesson every day. Those are the things I always put in my planner. I'm like, just do those things and then add the other things on that you need to, you know, any other bigger things that kind of come up. And that way I can just help myself kind of stay on top of things. But as I was sitting here editing, I was like, I am going to just set up next week, even though I was like, it's too late for this week. I mean, I still could use it for the last like 2-3 days, whatever. But it's kind of too late for this week. So I was like, I'm just gonna set up for next week. That way I'm ready and prepared, and I'm not like on Sunday like, oh, okay, well, because I didn't set up my planner, you know, like to start Monday off, because that's how my planner is. It starts Monday through Sunday. And so like I just procrastinate, and they'd be like, okay, well, since I didn't do it on Monday, I'm just not going to do it this week. So I have it set up for next week, so I don't have that excuse. But again, that's really awesome that I finally, after now it's been 2 whole months, I finally have that set up, which, like I said, I'm very happy about. I'm just a little frustrated that, again, it took me that long now, though. But it is set up for next week, so I can, like I said, you know, stay hopefully on top of things, you know, maybe a little bit better. I mean, I still do, but it just, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't believe I forgot to do that, or, you know, like, whatever. And, like, I feel a little kind of, I don't want to say disappointed in myself, but I kind of like hold myself accountable then if I was like, I didn't do any yesterday, at least, you know, like, and sometimes I'll end up forgetting, like, I didn't do any today, like, you know, I didn't do this, or I didn't edit, or, you know, I didn't, you know, mainly that, but, you know, if I didn't do dishes or laundry or something like that, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do a little extra, an extra load of laundry or something like that, because I didn't get to it the day before, whatever it might be. You know, it's just more of a better way to kind of hold myself accountable, and making sure that I do those things every day, because it helps organize, like keep me organized, and helps me stay on track for, again, too, like just some of the other things. The other thing that I always like to write in there too is if there's like sporting events on in the evening, like if there's baseball to watch, or if there's, you know, hockey or basketball or whatever, you know, football when that's on, you know, like that kind of stuff. I also like to write that stuff in, just so that I kind of know too, like, okay, like, you know, I wanted to watch this, because normally, again, too, like in the evenings after dinner or whatever, that's like a lot of times what I'll end up doing too. If I realize I haven't edited yet, I will watch, like I said, whatever sporting event it is, and edit at the same time, so that way too, you know, I know like that's kind of like my evening kind of like downtime a little bit to just like, you know, if I don't have too much else that's going on or really needs my attention, at least I know I can sit down and do that, and then hopefully also edit if I need to get that done and I hadn't done it earlier in the day. But like I said, I normally try and, like, you know, if I'm not going to be able to do it in the living room, I'll try and do it in my bedroom, and just kind of like stay on top of things as well. So anyways, though, there's, again, a lot of other things too that I'm like, I need to start putting things down in my planner, because I need to remember to start our seeds for our garden. Like, that's one of the big things too, is that I'm like, oh yeah, like it's March, like in it, probably by next month, honestly, we might be able to put some things outside and start them in the ground. So like normally it's like by like Labor Day is normally the safest, but we can always, and the thing was that I really wanted to get our cold frame storage done, like the the way I was going to do them was like little like A-frame kind of things, and so we wanted to do those. I wanted to have them so we could grow stuff through the winter, because we didn't really have that bad of a winter, where we did have some really cold days, but we also didn't have a ton of snow. Like, my only thing is if we get a lot of snow and stuff gets buried, then it's hard for me to be able to get out to the garden to get to that stuff. But if it's just like, you know, this was, like I said, it was, we had some very cold days where it was in the negatives, natives, but we didn't have a whole ton of snow where, like I said, it was like piled up to like feet. I can still get to the gardens like that. And the other thing is too, is that way we can start things earlier and also have things go later into the year as well. However, like I was saying, you know, I don't have those. So if I did though, I could honestly probably start them like around now or even possibly by next month. So again, our zone, the zone that we're in, we could, I think some of them do say between like April and May you can start like some of the early stuff, but in reality it's probably not gonna like a whole lot of that if we start it too early. But there are a lot of crops that only like the cold, so that's why they, you know, will do better. Like lettuce and kale, those are much colder crops, like especially kale likes it really cold, but like the leaf vegetables and stuff like that, they kind of don't mind, like they don't like it when it's hot. I also too, I've tried broccoli a lot, and every year that bolts for me because it grows then like into when it's too hot, and it just goes straight to flowering. So I never end up getting anything from it. So but normally that's because it's too hot. I need it to be colder. So again, that's like some of the stuff that I want to try and grow is stuff that I feel like would be better with a cold frame storage, where again I could do my broccoli, like start my broccoli outside now from seed, or even start it inside from seed and then transplant it like, you know, within a couple weeks, and then have it where it's still protected from the frost so that it's not going to kill it when it ends up, you know, having, if I have a cold frame, you know, for it. So like I said, I really wanted that, but we never ended up getting to it this year. And I don't need it for all of our garden beds, I just wanted it for like a couple of them, but as of right now we don't have any. And so like I said, I am stuck with a, you know, I can't really do anything. Yeah, that's one of the things that, like I said, I'm thinking about, and I'm like, I need to get that put in my planner. I need to start my seeds. I need to, you know, like the zucchini and yellow squash and stuff like that. Those are the ones that I can start from seed, you know, like right now, and then we can transplant them once they get bigger, and we can have zucchini early. I think I had 2 zucchini plants that we got from Menards, and they were already like pretty decent size when I planted them, and I planted them earlier, and then I started a couple from seed like at the same time. Those ones took a little longer, but the thing was that those ones, the ones I started from seed, I had a later crop with. The ones that I didn't, I had an earlier crop. So I can kind of do the same thing too, where again I can start some of them, but then also I can plant the seeds directly outside, and then I get a longer kind of, you know, whole thing there too. But the tomatoes, I guess they always have been a little bit later, but like tomatoes, even the early girl, which we get a lot of times because those are supposed to, I think you're supposed to basically get fruit earlier on them, those ones, I think, like I got like tomatoes from the exact same time as the other ones. It wasn't really like earlier. I want to say tomatoes also too don't love it when it's super hot, but like you can also do like shade, like artificial shade for some of the plants too. Like those would be ones that where we plant them though, there's no shade. So that's why like tomatoes are like almost like that, like partial shade kind of, because they do like it a little cooler. Like I said, this is from what my memory is serving. I don't know entirely 100% of all of this is true, but at least, like I said, in our area where we plant, you know, where we have our garden, that's what I've kind of noticed. And I think it might be because sometimes it gets too hot, or maybe they don't get watered enough. I'm not entirely sure, but I can't stand that our water is on this side of the house, our garden's on that side of the house. You guys, we got to run a hose all the way around, and we can't just leave it because then people can trip over it because it's right in front of our front door. So mailman, my mom, my dad, me, anybody that comes through our front door will end up tripping over it. Even if we do our darndest to try and like, you know, put it underneath the like the doormat and like, you know, try and keep it away, it's not gonna happen. And or we'll run over it with a car too because it's in the driveway, like whatever, you know, it's impossible. And I hate lugging the thing all the way around every single time. So I will normally, because I find it is actually more efficient of my time, is to actually just go out there and hand water everything with a watering can, because honestly I hate hauling the hose more than I hate hauling a watering can. I will take like 50 trips out there instead of just one trip with the watering or with the hose. I will take 50 trips throughout the day with a watering can because I just don't want to. And also too, because I work up such a sweat. Like if I end up doing like just like, oh, okay, I'll have to go out there for like, you know, like a minute or two just to like water like a couple plants, and then I come back and then do a couple more and then do a couple more, and I do it sporadically throughout the day, it's better than just doing the you know, like the 45 minutes to haul, like I said, the hose around, then to water everything. I am dripping sweat by that point in the day. Like I said, instead of just like a quick like 5 minutes and then back inside and I could get back in the air conditioning. So yeah, it's so funny when it's so cold out, you don't even think about like that being that hot and like being in the air conditioning and stuff like that, like when you're in the middle of winter. But it's funny, yesterday was actually 55 degrees out, I think. Today it's a little bit cooler. And tomorrow, we're supposed to be in for a winter storm, which I heard originally we were supposed to get like 6 to 8 inches. I don't know if that's entirely true, but it looks like we're supposed to get like rain into snow. So it's going to be like kind of sleeting and then at some point, but yeah, it's crazy weather right now. So again, if we had though, like I said, our cold frames built, then we would be able to have our plants outside already and they would be all protected even from this winter storm that we're supposed to be getting, but we don't. So that's why that's something I have to get put in my planner. But I was thinking about that and I was like, you know what, I need to put my planner, I need to write in my planner. So I'm going to, so that I can get that stuff started, and also write down the things possibly that we still need, like, or just stuff that I have to get out, because I have all the starters too. We save those every year. I save the ones even that we get from like Menards. I am like, when it comes to that stuff, I'm not going to pay for it, I don't want to, but I can start, like I said, all of my stuff, you know, that way, and then not have to worry about it so much. But that way, I just have to get that stuff out of the garage because it's in there somewhere. We might need potting soil. That might be the only thing, which I can get like a smaller bag at Menards of that. And honestly though, we might already have potting soil. I also need to kind of go through the garden beds. There's a lot of stuff, guys. I got a lot to write down. Plus too, we got a lot of stuff to try and get done this weekend. But that's why my dad going to the grocery stores now cuts down on that, having to do that stuff, and we can get to more of those things again on the weekends that we need to. So anyways though, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, I'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.